analyst Jan Pospisil joins us now for more on this story. Great to have you on the programme. So obviously the world's attention and media attention has been very much on Gaza for the past few months. Talk to us about what's been happening in Sudan, specifically here, what's been happening in Wad Madani, Sudan's second city, and what does it say about the fighting at this point now between the army and the rapid support forces?
I mean, on the ground, the RSF is basically dominating this. But what you, I think, see here is that, and this has happened basically all the time since, even after Gaza broke out, that still the Sudanese army has air dominance. So you saw basically all the time air attacks and bombardments in Khartoum, and increasing pressure also on the RSF in their Khartoum deployments by the army through the air. And I think that one of the strategic moves that the RSF wanted to do, and this is also like in terms of probable, like preparations for probable negotiations on ceasefires, is to expand its sphere of influence south on Al Jazeera. The Al Jazeera scheme, Wad Madani, the capital of Al Jazeera, is basically the first kind of target south of Khartoum where RSF could basically try to expand to basically also alleviate a bit the pressure that they face at the moment in Khartoum.
At this stage, just who has the upper hand, the army or the RSF?
I mean, it depends where you are. I think RSF is controlling Khartoum, RSF is controlling part of the surroundings of Khartoum, and they are pretty much the dominant force in large parts of Darfur. They have substantial support by the Emiratis, which runs through Chad. They are rather successful in getting also international support from neighboring countries, especially Chad now is in a way at least not against RSF anymore and has the border quite open for military support. On the other hand, RSF is not in a position to conquer the whole of Sudan. The east will be out of reach for them, basically, and this is where the stronghold still of the army is. Port Sudan is de facto capital at the moment of what is there as the de facto Sudanese government around the Sudanese army. So I think in a certain kind of way, and paradoxically, this attack on Wad Madani kind of shows that we are in a sort of military deadlock. I think there can't be much more big movement in any kind of way as it stands.
And tell us, where will people go then? Wad Madani was considered safe. It was also an aid hub. So what next for them?
I mean, this is the actual disaster in this situation. I mean, as reports came in, I mean, we are all not on the ground, so it's all to be treated with great care. But from what has been said this morning was that the attack has been repelled, so that basically the army is still in control of Wad Madani. Again, basically RSF had to retreat back north, which is of course of help of the people there. There was reports of 500,000 being displaced. I mean, the only way they can go is essentially further south to areas around Kosti or then even further south to South Sudan. But South Sudan itself struggles with quite a lot of refugees coming in. So essentially, if worst comes to worst, I mean, people will go south probably, but it's the situation is disastrous. There is even the humanitarian aid coming in is very little and not to speak of. So the situation is really, really difficult.
Jan, thank you so much for your analysis on this Sudan development. Jan Pospisil, thank you.